Count money, man. Stack riches. Try and told him I'm a beast, bud.
What's up, gang? Welcome back to another episode of the GRINDcast. Get ready, it's a new day. And today I'm going to review what I was pulling and grabbing from Mr. Ed Mylett. Shout out. What's up, Mr. Ed Mylett? We have he went over 3 steps to mastering self-discipline. And so he was talking about, he said, max out capacity. And like, if you want to max out capacity, so the way that I explain capacity is this here drink is an Essentia. I'm drinking so much of this water, you guys should give us a sponsorship or something over here. Free advertising for Essentia Waters. 33.8 fluid ounces is in here. And so if I wanted 40 ounces, I can't fit it in there because the capacity don't hold it. And so if you want to max out capacity, how much that something can do or hold, he was saying extremity expands capacity. And man, I thought that was fire, and a great way to explain it is you have to do extreme things at times to expand your capacity. So self-discipline is like a muscle that you can grow. And so as an example, if you're consistently maxing out, on bench press, you're trying to get stronger, and we're at a certain weight. Let's say we're at 275 pounds and we want to get to 315. We want the 3 big wheels on each side. The way to get to that is you got to be on that 3rd, 4th rep struggling. You got to get your muscles to struggle to where, man, I can only do 3 reps. Now I work up to 4 reps of X amount of weight. Or I did 275 once struggling. And then a couple weeks later, I get to 280 struggling. It's because you're maxing out. You're extreme. So the extremity, your body adapts and gives you more capacity in order to grow and evolve. And so that's the same thing for maxing out with your self-discipline. Is how do you expand your self-discipline? And you got to take an honest look at yourself and look at what are the things that we need to improve on with our self-discipline, and see how can I expand on those things? How can I do some extreme things to expand my capacity? And so, when you're growing yourself, or you're growing your business, or you're growing whatever it is, just cardiovascular, if I'm trying to run a mile in 6 minutes, but I can only run it in 7 minutes, and I'm running, a 7-minute mile. The next time I try to run it in 6 minutes and 45 seconds, and it's hard to breathe, and I'm sucking air, but I'm maxing myself out. So now I'm starting to expand my capacity. And so take an honest look at, what you can do from a self-discipline standpoint. So look at, am I watching too much television? Am I letting social media use me, or am I using social media? Am I, from a self-discipline standpoint, am I worrying too much? Do I have fear too much? What unhealthy relationships do I have in my life that I need to have some self-discipline? I need to not hang out with these people. They're fun, but I need to not hang out with them. Or, man, I had a crush on that guy or that girl, but I know they're toxic for me. They're bad. I need to have some self-discipline in my life and start to get myself away from that person. I'm staying up too late, so I can't get up early in the morning and get to take care of myself and do what I need to do to get a jump on the day. What things can you review in your self-discipline in your life that you could do to get better? We got to start eliminating things. Eliminate anything that distracts you from what you're working towards. I got a friend of mine that is really good at this. And it's like, man, he's so zoned in at what he's trying to be great at that anything that doesn't apply to him getting to where he wants to be, it's a real simple decision. If it doesn't help him get to where he wants to be, it's not a part of what he's doing. It's not a part of his life. And so you got to look at distractions that way. Look at things that you're doing in your life that way. Is what things are you doing in your life right now that are not helping you get any closer to where it is that you say that you want to go? Can you eliminate those things? Okay, the second thing he was going over, he was saying that you got to schedule the things that matter. Anybody that knows me knows that I say if it's not on the schedule, it don't count. If it's not on the schedule, it's not going to happen. Gotta live by a schedule. And you got to schedule things that matter. I remember John Maxwell saying, it's not is your calendar going to be full, but what is your calendar going to be full with? Because you're going to be busy. Things are going to get scheduled up. And the example I could give you when you're busy and on the grind and on the hustle, because if you're listening to the GRINDcast, this ain't the relax cast. That means you're probably grinding, probably pushing, probably hard to get time for things. And so if you look at the time and look at your schedule, pretend that you have two jugs like the old science project. You got an empty mug over here. You got an empty mug over here. And if you put all the pebbles in this mug and then you try to fit in 3 big rocks, it won't fit. And then if you put the 3 big rocks in over here and then you put the pebbles in, it fits because the pebbles find a way to get around those big rocks. And so this is where we got to schedule the things that are important instead of making excuses. How often do you hear people say, I don't have time? I can't find the time. Well, if you're looking, I don't ever find any time either. I ain't never looked under the couch and said, there's a man, found some time today. I found money under the couch before. Never found any time under the couch. You ain't going to find it. We're all given 168 hours in a week. Everybody. And so what are your big rocks that you need to schedule and put in your schedule? You know, for me, it's time for myself and time for my family, time for people that I'm mentoring, things of that nature. The big rocks that sometimes people could overlook is the time for themselves or time with their family. And so I'll put in, you know, recently I took my daughter to go see Barbies, that movie, the Barbie movie. Don't get mad at me. My personal opinion, it was average. Didn't think it was that great. But I got time with my girl. So I scheduled in there, just me and her, lunch, movie together, just that little block of time. Then I was back to work, backing on calls and stuff. So I try to schedule in time with my son, with my kids, the baby. We just went to get coffee the other day, just me and the baby. We play a little bit. He likes things. I scheduled out that whole couple hours for he and I, and then back to the grind. And so most people would look at that and say, well, I don't have time. Put the rocks in, put your family time in that you can build things around, and you cannot neglect yourself, put yourself in, but look at what's important to you, schedule things, not just appointments and meetings, but family time, reaching out to loved ones, calling people that you want to call and talk to, mind, body, and spirit for yourself. If it's in a schedule, I'll put in my schedule, call this person. If it's in a schedule, it'll happen. The most successful people do the highest impact things at any given moment. So try to think about what are the highest impact things throughout the day. What things are going to provide the most value to others and the most value to your business or the most value. Make sure we're doing high impact things. Check out the episode, the GRINDcast episode, Routine and Ritual, from about a month ago. And that'll help some of you with some of this stuff. If you didn't watch that one or listen to that one, go back and look at the Routine and Ritual GRINDcast from about a month or so ago. And third thing that I stole, that I was picking out from Ed Mylett's thing, was building a habit of keeping the promises that you make to yourself. Building a habit of keeping the promises that you make to yourself. How are you going to keep promises to others if you don't keep promises to yourself? And really, it's probably easier to keep promises. Sometimes it's easier to keep promises to others than it is to keep promises to yourself. But you got to, discipline-wise, you got to make a promise to yourself. Man, I promise I'm going to work out this many times. I promise I'm going to work on my script this many hours a week. I promise I'm going to get my body fat to this point. I promise I'm going to have my diet. I'm only going to cheat 3 meals a week, or I'm only going to cheat 1 day a week. I promised myself I was going to get date night. I promised myself I was going to do. What things can you promise on? Because people make the mistake of setting huge goals. And typically huge goals, you know what huge goals require? Typically the huge goals, what I've seen, the huge goals require huge self-discipline. And typically, if you're not hitting those goals and you trace it back, it goes back to some form of where we lacked in self-discipline. And so discipline is about starting small with the little things. So I give you like example, and I'm not perfect. I'm just giving you some examples. I think most people that are around me will tell you that once in a while I like to indulge in some ice cream. Okay, I'm not saying I'm 100%, but I think that's part of discipline, is knowing yourself. I'll build that in. It's planned out. But like part of my discipline in my routine is looking at when I'm going to bed and when I'm waking up. But the first thing I do in the morning is drink a certain amount of water. And for a while I've been drinking this. Thank God my wife ain't got to kiss me after this. This lemon and garlic drink that I drink in the morning that's healthy for you. All these little small things, breathing routine, all these small things of self, because you think I want to drink garlic and lemon in the morning? No. Think I want to get up when the alarm clock rings at 5 o'clock in the morning? No. Think I want to drink 32 ounces of water in the morning? No. Do you think I want to waste 15 minutes of time breathing in the morning when my mind's racing on all these other things I could do? No. It's the small things of self-discipline, the promises to yourself done daily, little by little. The small things is what builds momentum in your life. It's the key is those little details that you build on top of one another that are going to help you. People think linear, and it's not just that. So step one, inspiration. We're inspired, right? So you got that feeling of inspiration. Step two, motivation. All right. So now motivation, to me, I look at, well, motivation, how do you create motivation? Motive, right? The root word of motivation, look at motive. Why? You got to always attach the why. Why am I doing this for my health? Or why am I doing this so my day goes better? Or why am I doing this so I can do more production? Why am I doing this so my kids can do this? Why am I doing this? Because it's going to create this for my family. The motivation comes from you having your why right, your motive right. People say, well, how do you stay motivated? How do you not stay motivated? Who are you doing it for? What are you doing it for? That's how you're going to. So I'm inspired. Inspire is not motivated. I'm inspired. You inspire me. Okay. Well, now we got to get motivated. So now we're motivated. But the step three, the hardest part is now we got to take action. And people think linear, but it's not a straight line. It's like a loop or steps to it. You take small action, doing a little bit of small action. That'll inspire and motivate you to take bigger action. And don't always wait to get inspired, right? They were saying, well, that's what we got shirts here at our organization that says discipline over motivation. Discipline over motivation. Don't wait to get inspired. Do something now. because you might not always feel it in the beginning. You just got to act yourself. We tell people it's easier to act yourself into feeling than feel yourself into acting. Do the little things. Ask my wife, ask my family, ask anybody around me. There's some small disciplines, small things, like set your clothes out the night before. That's one of my big disciplines. My clothes are out the night before. I don't need to rush around for my gym clothes or rush around for my outfit the next day. None of that stuff. Or when I get into a hotel room, anybody that travels with me, they know what I do. As soon as I get in, I got to unpack everything and hang my stuff up, get all my stuff organized. You know, those little things, if you could start your day out with little disciplines and control and maintain it, it'll start to evolve into other things in your life. Morning ritual, mind, body, and spirit starts every day with discipline, things that you can control and try to maintain that. It's a process. It's a habit. It's building a structure and building a system for your life. Unorganized and undisciplined people accomplish less and are more exhausted at the end of the day. The more that I got going on, it makes it easier for me mentally and physically when I'm organized and when I'm disciplined. What do I mean by that? Unorganized and undisciplined people are more stressed. They accomplish less and they're more exhausted. What do I mean by that? Like if I have a big day, the thing that stresses me and exhausts me the most is on days where I have, this is why I don't do it often, is because it's so horrible. If I got a meeting at 8:00 and I wake up at 7:00 and it's like, oh my God, I don't have no time to take care of my mind, my body, my spirit, take care of myself the right way. I'm rushing out the door. I didn't get my routine in. And then I'm chasing the day like that. It's just never as good of a day as if the day starts at 8 and I'm up at 5 and I'm already looking at that day. I'm planning for it. I'm getting myself in the right zone like an athlete. If the game starts at 1:00 and you get off the bus at 12:55 and you're running right onto the field, typically it's not going to be your best game. You're out of your routine. You're out of your ritual. Once self-discipline becomes a habit, you no longer have to waste mental energy on it. You'll have more energy because you've applied these self-disciplines in your life. And so the couple things that we had to help you from what we learned and what we gathered from it is let's look at three things. Number one, take an honest look at what it takes and look at what things are taking away from your self-discipline and eliminate it. What things are taking away from your self-discipline and eliminate those things. For everybody, it's going to be different. Is it men? Is it women? Is it a movie? Is it alcohol? Is it partying too much? What is it? Golfing too much? What is it? What are the things? Eliminate it. Number two, schedule things in your calendar. Schedule things. Get great at scheduling. Schedule the things that matter instead of making excuses that you don't have time. Yes, you do. Number three, build a habit of keeping the promises that you make to yourself. The commitments and promises. What commitments and promises? We start out the year, New Year's resolution. We don't need a new year to make a resolution. Make a resolution right now. What promise am I going to make to myself? Keep those promises. Get discipline. That's why they call it self-discipline. Nobody can give it to you. You got to go out and get it yourself. Build the small wins in the small areas of life. Those lead to the big things. Let's get rid of the things that are holding us down and holding us back, and let's go live our best life. You're closer than you think. Day by day, the power of one day. One day we got it this way. One day you make a shift and everything in your life can change. Let's make those necessary changes today on your journey to getting everything you want in life. Okay, you only live once. Let's go out there and get it. If this helped anybody, as always, share it with somebody so we can spread the word and try to help more people. And as always, we're so grateful for the time that you spend with us here to GRINDcast Studio. Thanks for joining us on another episode of the GRINDcast. Get ready. It's a new day.